Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a motel. This motel has a reception, a large car park, we have a pool and a vending machine, and we have 10 rooms in total. The rooms have beds, TVs, wardrobes, and bathrooms. This is the amount of space required to make your motel. Feel free to build this grid in your world if you do feel so it will help you out. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Step 1. Come all the way over to the back right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. And from the back right hand corner, extend inwards diagonally towards the center, 1, 2, 3. We're going to begin by placing a cyan concrete on the ground. And extend forwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then extend left by 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Then extend forwards by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then extend left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then all we have to do is extend this 8th block backwards, and we just have to join it all the way back to where we first started. So I like to partially extend that row, and then come all the way back over here, extend this, and hopefully they will meet somewhere in the middle. So this is the shape that we want to have, a fancy boomerang. So the next part of this is going to be for us to extend every single one of these cyan concrete blocks upwards by 3. So 1, 2, 3. We will then place a white concrete on top of the row of cyan. We then want to place 4 more rows of cyan concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place a row of white concrete on top. And then we want to fill the roof of the structure that we are making in with light grey concrete. This light grey concrete will be set 1 row below the white concrete. And then we are going to, whilst we still have daylight and whilst it's still easy, we are going to dig out the entire grass area inside the first floor of our motel and replace it using red concrete. You can imagine how long this may take. Enjoy the time lapse. So, there's something that I forgot to mention up until this point. The only thing that we haven't done out of that long list is applied the roof to the top of the building, but we are at a point in which it would be easy for us to add the interior floors into the build. Where we have the row of white concrete, we want to have another row of red wool to act as carpet. Now below the red wool, we want to have a row of light grey concrete, so that we have something that actually resembles a ceiling, because nobody puts carpet on the ceiling. Nobody would even get to enjoy that except like Spider-Man. Well, that was fun. Now that we have completely filled in the build, we have all of our floors, we have all of the walls, we even have a roof. How many people can say that? Now that we have done that, pause the video if necessary of course, we can now start adding details. There aren't too many of them. Why don't we start all the way over here on the left side? So, there are windows. And by the way, everything that happens on the ground floor also happens on the second floor, so we'll just go floor by floor. From the corner of the build, extend upwards and inwards diagonally and create a 2x2 hole in the wall and fill it with black glass block, or black glass pane. It's up to you. Now moving around to here, we want to have a doorway. The doorway is simply one row away from the wall and it looks exactly like this. You can also place red wool here so that it's, it doesn't look a little bit weird when the door's in. Leave a gap of 1 between the top of the door and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 in the wall and then fill this in using glass. Extend to the right and leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, another row above it and fill it in with glass. Leave a gap of 1 between the window and then destroy another doorway, place a red wall underneath, and you can kind of see how these things are going to go now. So if we start all the way over here on the right side, we can do another similar thing. So we can add a 2x2 window in here, just on the right side of the build, move around, create a doorway, 1 row away from the corner here. From the top of the door, if we leave a gap of 1 and then destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, a row above it, and then we can fill this in with glass. And you guys might be able to see the pattern that is going to merge from here. So we then want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 from the window, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Destroy below it, fill this in with glass. Then leave a gap of 1 and then destroy enough room for a doorway. And then you thought you knew the pattern, but you actually didn't, because then we're going to leave a gap of 1. Then we're going to have another doorway, place some red wool in the ground to, of course, make it look a little bit more implemented. That sounds right. Look a little bit more implemented. Just go with it. Okay, so leave a gap of 1 between the door and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, a row above it, and then fill it in with glass. So the end result, of course, we don't have the doors on us, but that's okay. Will look like this. So all we would have to do from here is take what we have done down here and apply it up top. Perfect. It looks a little bit weird, I have to say, with the red wool, like, in between the white. It kind of looks like... I don't know what it looks like, honestly, but it looks a little bit weird and I'm unsettled by it. So, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add a walkway. So if we start from the door on the upper left side here, we don't need a walkway down below. We want to place 2 rows of light grey concrete that basically just sit in front of where we are going to be walking in. So the light grey concrete doesn't have to go as far as the very edge of the build because we're going to be cladding it using some upside down stairs. But we do want to be able to walk up and onto this, and the way that we're going to do this is we will place a row of 2 light grey concrete extending outwards like this, so from the very end, a 2x2 square, and then we will need polish andesite stairs, and we are only going to go with a single row here, and we simply want to place stairs in such a way that we place these stairs in front of, upside down, in front of, upside down, until we eventually just hit the ground like this. So I want to do this on the other side first, so a 2x2 square on the end. We take the end of the square and then we place the andesite stairs just extending down like this until we do eventually hit the ground. And this is going to get detailed in a second now that we have placed these stairs. So the next thing that we will do is we will place upside down smooth quartz stairs essentially in front of the light grey concrete. So I'm specifically using smooth quartz stairs. You can use the regular if you like. I wouldn't recommend it. So the next thing that we're going to do is, once we've placed all of those stairs, is place iron bars on top. I kind of struggled with whether to use fence or iron bars, but iron bars kind of seem to fit this place a little bit better. Like this, for that prison vibe. And there we go, that's looking pretty not bad. So the next thing that we will be doing after this is we have to apply kind of like rails to the sides of these stairs. So the way that I would do it is I'd just place iron bars directly next to every single one of the andesite stairs, and then starting from the bottom, kind of just connect them all together like this. I don't really want them in front of the back part of the stairs, if that makes sense. I kind of want the back part of the stairs exposed. So if you want to go for a single row like this, that looks okay, but I am looking for a more, how can I say this, like a chunky look, like this. So I'm going to do this on both sides. And once again, if you just place them in front of the actual upper stair, and then we kind of just connect them together on top, like extending up. And then if we add another row to them, like this, extending all the way down, then we have something that should look like this. And that's pretty good. So the next thing that I want to do is I just want to add a row of smooth quartz slabs just in front of the top of the white concrete. So just like this, just to add a little bit of texture to the roof. The next thing that I am going to do is, I don't know. I think I figured it out. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab the smooth stone. Actually, let's just chuck all this away. We want to grab the smooth stone, grey concrete, yellow carpet, and jungle leaves. And that should do just for now. So, in front of the motel, so we're talking about the bottom level now, we want to have a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A row of 5 smooth stone that extends outwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, that extends outwards in the same sort of shape that the motel is. So it's just kind of like a bit of a pathway that leads all the way around the base of your motel. So you just hop out of your car and you just hop on this path and it takes you everywhere that you may need to go. So you can see that is how the path is kind of laid out. So beyond that, we are going to make a bit of a car park. So the way that the bit of a car park works is that we want to, starting from this corner of smooth stone here that we have just on the right side of the motel, on the ground, place 1, 2, 3 yellow carpet extending left. Leave a gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3. Stick a jungle leaf on the end. Extend that forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is in total 6 rows. And then all we will want to do, and we need white concrete as well, forgot about that, is we want to place white concrete in between the car parking spaces that are as long as the row of jungle leaves. So when I say in between, I do mean just in between, just on the end here. If you like, on the end here, we can actually have a couple of rows of smooth stone, like this, and we'll actually be able to walk around the entire motel. So there will be a couple of rows of smooth stone that we are able to walk around the back, and then we'll have a wall, etc. But beyond that, we want to have, like I said, we want to have the actual grey concrete car park area. So if we come all the way to this corner here, so on the left side of the motel, dig out this block, and then in front of it, 1, 2, and then we just want to dig all the way over here towards the boundary, and we can dig 1, 2, 3 blocks, maybe even 4. It's up to you. It kind of depends how wide your cars are. You can go with 3 or 4 blocks. And then we're going to dig this inwards, and we're going to join it to the first car parking spot that we made. So it'll look like this. Then we are going to just destroy the grass that we have in this kind of like corner, and we're going to place smooth stone. And then later on, we'll like grab bricks and we'll build up this area so we have a path in and out that we don't require a car. And of course, I will assimilate this into my city as well. So I'll probably add a road that leads around and in and out, and we'll have a little one-way system for the motel. But all of that is basically just to show you that that is kind of like the car parking space. So, let's fill this in with grey concrete as well, because I do feel as though it helps. At least it helps me to visualize a little bit better. And why don't we just connect it to the leaves? And we'll get that all filled in due time. Okay, for this next bit, we need water, smooth quartz stairs, and just all of our regular materials that we already have on us. We're going to come towards the left corner of the hotel, kind of like the left back front, I don't even know how to describe it, but this block right here. Well, in the ground, we want to dig 1, 2, 3, 4, and replace this using smooth stone. We then want to dig a further 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then dig to the right 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I actually want to dig out the area of this space, just like this. So it might even be easier to dig like a rectangle first. And this is a little bit tricky because what we are digging is a pool, but I haven't included an edge to the pool. So we have an 8 by 12 block area. We extended 11, we already had one, so 8 by 12. And then we're going to dig one row down, and we are going to place the base of the pool, which I'm just going to use white concrete, because I'm keeping it simple. I really don't want this build to be too complicated. Of course, I want to have nice details, I want it to, you know, be nice and realistic, but only up to a point. Like, I don't want to go absolutely insane with this, and we haven't. So we're just going to fill the base of this in using white concrete, and then later on, which we will just do it later because it'll be easier. I've got the water on me, but I don't know why. We will just fill this in with water. I guess that there's nothing really stopping us now. I just don't want to like be digging out the area and flood it. But I guess that probably won't happen anyway, so we're probably good actually. So now that we've filled the base with water, I'm going to add a couple of stairs in, one in each opposing corner, and then let us actually just fill it in, and we'll just stick some water in here because again, like the more pieces you add to this jigsaw, the better, I think. So now that we've done that, we want to come to the bottom right-hand corner of the pool, and we want to dig a row of 10. So this is with, and we want to replace it with smooth stone. This is worth mentioning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Replace this with smooth stone here. Then we're going to dig this row of 10 towards the grey concrete. Fill this in, just like this. Then we're going to also... So let's just take an aerial view of this because I think it will be a little bit easier. So we want to add 2 more rows of smooth stone. There will be 2 rows of smooth stone that lead all the way to the exit of the motel. So this is going to sit just next to the row of grey concrete that we already have. And it'd help if there wasn't already a bunch of smooth stone surrounding this, because like some of this should be an actual like a road. And we are also going to want just 2 rows of smooth stone on the opposite side here, just leading towards what will eventually be a wall. So we just want to have something which should look like, give it a second, like this. So hopefully you can kind of see how this is all laid out. The grey concrete area will be filled in with grey concrete, the smooth stone areas will be filled in with smooth stone, and that grass area will actually be filled in with lime terracotta. But we have some bigger things to make first. The first of which is going to be the reception, I suppose we would call it. So we need a cyan concrete for this, not just one actually. We need cyan concrete, black stained glass, we need smooth quartz slabs, we need polished andesite slabs, and, well, I mean, that's kind of it really. It's not too much more. We need doors and stuff, but I want to come all the way to the bottom right hand corner of the pool again. I want to move to the right 1, 2, place a cyan concrete, extend right by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extend back, join back. And we can fill the base of this in with something if we like. I mean, what materials do we have? Maybe we'll just use light grey concrete, and maybe we'll just use that for the floor. It makes sense if it were like, maybe even red wool might work a little bit better. Because this is supposed to be an office, or in a reception, or, well, kind of both really. So we'll use red wool for the base. We may as well just build this up. So we just want to add 2 layers of cyan concrete directly on top of the outside of our reception. So just like this. We want to have a couple of windows and a door. So the door is going to be right here. It's on the, well, I say the front, you guys wouldn't know that it's the front, but it's here where we have this path. Destroy this, place a red wall. To the right of this, we want to have a little 1x2 window, and we also want one on the side here as well. That is going to be black glass. So for the roof, we are going to place a layer of andesite slab on top of this, first of all, because we're going to be doing an interesting / weird shape on top of the roof. So grab your smooth quartz slabs and start from the front left hand corner of the build here. Place a smooth quartz slab extending out from this corner, extend it forwards, up, forwards, like this. So we actually have quite a big overhang, and then we want to extend this across. And then we want to do the same but opposite thing. So we want to extend it back, down, and then back by 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to extend up. But actually, no, we'll do 4, 5, and then we'll extend it up, back, back. And then we'll extend across. And then we'll do the same. So back, down, extend forwards. So all we would have to do from here is we just have to add a row of andesite slabs here and extend the back up. And there we go, we have a pretty interesting little roof that kind of like sets itself apart from the motel a little bit. And the next thing that we are going to do, I think that we're going to get all of the areas filled in. And I'm also going to separate the motel from my actual like path around the city, just so that it looks a little bit better. So all we're going to do is get the car park filled in using grey concrete. We are going to get the patch of grass in front of the reception replaced with lime terracotta, and we are going to fill everywhere else in using smooth stone. And that's all we have to do. I am also, myself, personally, going to add a little bit of a road around the motel, because I think that it will just help to establish this a little bit better in my city. I'm not sure if this is going to be my motel's final resting place. I can always have multiples of these if I wish as well. It's not exactly the perfect spot for it in my city though, so I'm going to kind of really decide whether or not I want it to be here. But for now, I'm going to kind of just... I'm going to give it a nice temporary place, and I'm just going to give it a simple, a bit of a simple terrain around it. At this point in time, it also seems like a really good idea to get the walls of the motel built. We're pretty much just using bricks for this. We're going to be placing it directly on top of the outside of the grid, and majoritively we simply just have a 2-row high brick wall, except on the front right hand corner of the motel, we're just going to have a single high brick wall just in front of the lime terracotta area. We are going to place leaves on top of the brick wall as well, but this is pretty much just going to be on the back and left side. I did try it out a little bit just on the back right hand side as well, but I'm not 100% sure if I like that or not. I think that it might be... Actually, you know what? It doesn't look bad at all, so we'll just keep it in there for now. No, we won't. We are going to remove it all the way to the back. So for this next part, now that we have the walls placed, we have all of the ground laid out, we even have a little bit of a road leading around my motel, we are going to place some signs. So the first sign is going to be in this patch of lime terracotta. From the front right hand corner, we want to extend inwards 1, 2, destroying the ground, and then left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Replace this using white concrete. We then want to, extending it in from the ends, place 1, 2, and 1, 2 dark oak fence on top of these blocks. Terracotta on top of the fence and extend those outwards. And then add another row of orange terracotta on top with birch slabs on top of that. And that is going to be where the first sign is. The other two signs are on top of the motel itself, and we're going to grab dark oak fence for this. So the first sign on top of the motel is going to be in between these two windows on the right side, and it's going to sit directly on top of this white concrete here. We take a simple dark oak fence, and then we stick an orange terracotta on top of it. Extend left by 1, 2, 3 and right by 1, 2, 3. We're then going to place a dark oak fence down on each of the corners and orange terracotta on top, birch slabs on top of that. And that is basically how the sign is going to look. And then we want to have the same thing, but we're actually going to place it on the back of the motel on the opposite side here, so pretty much just on the opposite corner-ish. And the way that we're going to place it is once again in between these two windows here on this side. We're just going to follow it back and then place a dark oak fence on top of the position where it would be in between the two windows. Orange terracotta on top, extend 1, 2, 3, and also 1, 2, 3. Extend the corners down, and then add a row of orange terracotta on top, birch slabs on top of that, and then we'll place the actual sign itself on the outside, kind of advertising outwards to these really nice houses where there probably wouldn't be a motel. So the next thing we're going to do is actually make the lettering for this. So let's just get rid of all this, and we will throw down a loom, open it up, place an orange banner in there with a white die. Or, yeah, just one actually. And we want to add the triangle effect at the top, the white inverted chevron. Grab that, put that back in, put orange dye in there this time, and we then want to place the orange chief indented. How have I only just learned that these actually have names? I've been calling this the teeth forever, but anyway. We then want to place the banner back in there with some white dye, and we want to add a vertical row on the left, vertical row on the right. So that is M. Next will be O, so we want to place a horizontal on the top, horizontal on the bottom, vertical on the left, vertical on the right. O. Next would be T, so we have a horizontal row of white across the top, a vertical down the middle. Next will be E, so we have a vertical on the left, and then a horizontal on the top, middle, bottom. Next would be L, so we have a vertical row on the left, horizontal across the bottom, and there we go, easy peasy. So all we do is we place this in the 3 signs. So the smallest sign, the first one that we place, we just literally just place it and it just fits, starting from left to right. The other 2 signs, we start 1 row inwards on the side. So M, O, T, whoops, E, L. And then on this one, like I said, we're kind of going to place it on the outside, M, O, T, E, L. And we really are just adding really cool details that really do just put like a really nice finish on this. And speaking of another finish, something that I would have probably have forgotten is this. So I just have to hit up the chest actually. So we'll place these in there. We'll not need the dies and stuff again. So we need paintings, black concrete, and we need dark oak fence for this next part. But in addition to this, to make the next part, we'll also be using glass, red concrete, the smooth quartz stairs. We'll be using bookshelves as well. Do we not have, but yeah, we do have bookshelves, stone buttons, and also item frames, which I am not seeing right now, but I'm sure that I forgot to include them in the item list, so that's fun. Guys, we need item frames too. So the next thing that we're going to do is, on the right side of the motel, the upper right side, we're going to take this corner of cyan concrete, extend one row backwards, and place 2 dark oak fence extending out, and then we'll place a 2x2 square of black concrete underneath. And then well, that didn't end well. And then we're going to fill this up using paintings, just to make it look like some sort of advertisement. And it does, it looks pretty good. You could place the same thing on the opposite side there, but I don't think that there's any need. So after that, we are going to come all the way to the corner here. So the corner of the motel, the opposite corner, we want to have a little vending machine, and this is very, very simple to make. So we want to place a glass 1 row away from the edge, and then we want to place a bookshelf, and then 2 red concrete. We then want to place in front of the red concrete, we want to place red concrete in front of the red concrete, upside down quartz stairs in front of the bookshelf, glass in front of that. We're then going to extend the glass upwards each by 2, the red concrete upwards each by 2, the bookshelf upwards by 2 as well, and then on top of the upside down quartz stair we want to place glass. And then on the right side here, I'm realizing we actually need more stuff as well. So we're actually also going to need signs. I'm not going to hit up the chest for this. And we also need red carpet as well. So red carpet is going to go just literally on top of it, just to kind of add a finish. And then on the right side, we're going to have like an oak. No, we're going to have a couple of buttons in front of the top 2 left red concretes. And then an oak sign in the corner, and then an item frame below. And there we go, just a nice simple vending machine. It's just a nice little finish on this particular area. I just felt it needed something. So, the next couple of things that we have to do really just to put a nice finish on the motel is, number 1, we have to do the reception. And I want to show you all of the materials. These are all of the materials that we are going to be using just to finish off the build. So if you do want to grab these preemptively, pause this, make sure you got them all, then we can continue. So, inside of the reception area, we're going to have a couple of good old calcite just extending from the front entrance. This is basically just a little desk, so we're going to place a stair behind this. We're going to have a birch trap door to look like a laptop, a lantern on the desk just to kind of light this up. In the corner, we're going to have a couple of rows of bookshelves just built up like this. And then in the back right-hand corner of the space, we're going to have a couple of signs hanging on the wall with tripwire hooks left of this. So in my mind, this is where all of the keys to the various rooms are kept, and these will, of course, catalog which one is which. And then it's kind of up to you how you want to decorate this from here. Maybe just like a couple of paintings just to make it look a little bit homier. I guess you probably wouldn't want it to be homier, but, you know, just make it look a little bit more lively. And there you go. That's kind of all there is to it. And, of course, we can just stick a door on this whenever we fancy. We can go with, why don't we go with a good old oak door just to be a bit different, because we're going to be using spruce for all of the rooms. So next up, we are going to do we're going to be doing the rooms. So for each one of the rooms, I should point out, ladies and gentlemen, that at this point in the video, we are only going to be making one motel room. Every single one of the motel rooms are identical. The only difference being is that with some of them, like this one and the one next to it, they are mirrored. So they are flipped, but they are otherwise literally the same. So if you do have trouble making all of the motel rooms by yourself, as I'm going to make every single other room but this one off recording, then just come back to this point in the video and I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll eventually get it. Just keep watching this as many times as you have to, and then I'm sure that you will eventually get the hang of it. But first things first, in making these rooms, we have to add a wall. This wall here is going to divide the rooms from each other. So we want to, in the middle of these two windows, place a cyan concrete wall that just divides the motel up. We then want to add another wall inside the motel room that will allow us to have a bathroom. So if we start from the corner here, next to the window, we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, and in this fourth block, we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cyan concrete, extend it back to the wall, and join it to the ceiling. So as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. So this is pretty much the base of the room. We have to have a little entrance here into the bathroom, and there you go, easy peasy. So for the actual motel rooms, I should probably grab all the materials we need. Barrel, lantern, oak planks, oak stairs, white bed. We'll also need black concrete, paintings, spruce trapdoor, spruce door, and we'll need armor stand, and we need some other stuff as well. But in the corner of the room here, we want to place a barrel. This is going to be kind of like a nightstand. I kind of want it placed upwards like this with a lantern on top of it, so we've got a little bit of storage. And then a couple of oak planks next to the barrel, and we want to have oak stairs. How do I play? There we go. We want to have oak stairs back to back like this, and then a double bed in front of it. Now on the wall opposing this, I'm realizing that this window is probably a bad idea, because on this wall I want to have a couple of oak planks and a couple of black concrete, and I want to have a TV. So simple. And yeah, we'll probably have to remove this window. It's just not a good idea after all. So after that, we want to, over here, we want to have a little wardrobe. So from this wall, we want to place 2 backwards spruce doors here, and add spruce trapdoors on top of the doors to make like an actual opening functioning wardrobe. We're then going to place armor stands inside of this so we can open and close it. Now, it is a little bit dark in here, so, I mean, you might want to add windows where, you know, where you think is necessary, or you could opt for, like, floor lamps, or put, like, just a cheeky, like, lantern here and there, just to kind of, like, light things up, and that'd lead you to the bathroom as well. Well, inside of the bathroom here, I am going to add another lantern just opposite the door, and the bathroom itself is really simple. So, tripwire hook, smooth quartz stairs, cauldron, oak trapdoor, flower pot, and all we're going to do is make a bath. So the bath is going to be 1 row away from the wall here, and it's going to be 3 upside down smooth quartz stairs extending out, joined back to this wall, tripwire hook above the bath, couple of flower pots on the upside down stair, cauldron in the corner, oak trapdoor flipped up on top. Perfect. Now, if you want, you can add a window in here as well, but the issue would be that, like, this is literally the bathroom. Like, I mean, you could use tinted glass. That would make a bit more sense so people couldn't actually see. You wouldn't really get too many people in here anyway, but, you know, it's kind of the bathroom. You probably don't want a big window just in front of the bath. It's a little bit weird, but you guys get the idea. And, of course, you can also add some paintings and stuff about the place, and if you did so choose, to make it look a little bit more interesting, but that's kind of up to you. And honestly, I mean, that's the motel room. These things aren't meant to be like incredibly intricate. They are meant to be very simple. I'll place an oak door for the bathroom door, a spruce door for the actual motel room door. Oh, and the last but not least, I should do this as well actually, a couple of green banners just inside of the window, just to look like curtains, and that looks really good in my opinion. And that is, honestly, that's the motel room complete, and I have to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more times, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to do that, and I might even add some cars out in front in kind of like the parking lot. So I'm going to do all that, ladies and gentlemen. That will actually be the end of this tutorial. I hope that you've enjoyed it so far, and I hope that you managed to make the motel rooms, I've got to keep the motel rooms just fine without me going step by step for each one. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to make anything else by me, check out the City Builds playlist. You'll be able to find that in the description below, or just check next to or underneath this video. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that you guys would enjoy making. And of course, if you would like to download my city Stream City, channel members are given a fresh brand new download link every single time it is updated. So if you're a channel member, you can find that Java Edition only in the community tab. It might be something that you're interested in, it's up to you. Thank you so much for watching, I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!